Welcome to Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Dr. Angelika Maria Koch with the educational videos about optimal health and the most innovative and holistic approach to your well-being. Lately I had a few inquiries about what to do about mold toxicity. So a patient of mine recently moved into a new home, and only after 1 month staying there she developed severe symptom of mold toxicity symptoms. Now I do have to say she did have a predisposition towards mold prior to moving into the house, but this event just brought up this dormant layer right up to the surface. So what to do? Selling the home, moving out of the home, or trying a natural protocol? So in this video we'll share with you all the necessary info you need to know how to tackle this problem. So enjoy. To stay updated with my ongoing videos, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, share and like it with your friends and family, and don't forget to have a look at my website medicanova.net at the online academy, where you will find comprehensive home study online courses in homeopathy, quantum healing, health and wellness coaching, integrated mental health, and so much more. And if you're interested in a personal health consultation, either for yourself or your children, contact me at health@medicanova.net. So let's first take a look what mold toxicity is really about and how it expresses itself. Well, it can be quite serious and can affect quite a wide range of health problems. So black mold in itself is easily distinguishable because, surprisingly, it's black in color, but it comes also in grayish or greenish tints. Black mold, also known as Stachybotrys chattarium or Stachybotrys atra, can be found indoors growing on a variety of surfaces, especially anything which is high in cellulose. So we have wood, fiberboard, gypsum board, paper, lint, even dust. What is mold? A mold is a type of fungus that grows in filaments and reproduces by forming mold spores that cannot be seen by the naked human eye. But mold can grow and thrive in any season, indoors as well as outdoors, especially in damp, warm and humid environment. And it spreads like wildfire then. But mold itself flourishes mainly in warm and this humid environment, whereas the mold spores, they can actually thrive even in harsh, dry environments. So the spores float around either indoor or outdoor, but when the spores land on some moist surface, right, then they start to grow. Then they say, oh, it's time to thrive. So showers, basements, crawl spaces, anything which has a leak, right, is very inviting for these spores. But in order to find your, sort of personalized natural protocol, you have to find out first what kind of allergy do you actually have. And I'm going to give you some ideas here, because there are different kinds of mold allergies. One is called ALTERNARIA allergy. And it's dark green, black or gray, and comes in these long velvety hairs. ALTERNARIA is a mold that requires very little moisture to grow. And because it requires minimal moisture to grow, it can be commonly found in carpets, clothing, basements, windows and doors. And maybe you remember on the windowsills and there's sort of rainwater seeping in there. That's ALTERNARIA. Most of the time people suffer from, and that's where it boils down to, mainly hay fever, seasonal allergy symptoms. So you maybe have sneezing attacks, streamy, watery eyes, maybe have upper respiratory symptoms, and if you're an asthma sufferer, even more so. The next one in line is called Aspergillus allergy. Here again you see more the gray, brown, yellow, green, white, even black color. And that being said, this type of mold grows very quickly once the spores are released. Although it grows quickly, it does require more moisture than the ALTERNARIA. And as a prevalent household mold, it grows on walls, soil, insulation, basement, and clothing, particularly harmful to people with a weakened immune system. So we talk about here young children and elderly. Another type of mold is called CLADOSPORIUM allergy. Has a powdery texture, comes in gray, brown, and black color. Even has dark pigmented, they're called conidia, that occur in simple or branching chains. As a mold that can grow on both dead and living matter, so you see that often on plants, food, insulation, wood, even dark, damp environments such as basement. Again, people can experience these allergic reactions from it, similar to hay fever. You even can have dry skin, sneezing, runny nose, scratchy throat, coughing attacks, and of course the watery eyes. People also can have fungal sinusitis symptoms, right? Tightness in your chest, difficulty breathing. Another group is called MEMNONIELLA allergy. I hope I say that right. It's similar to STACHYBOTRYS. MEMNONIELLA mold is smaller and is usually a dark green or black color. Again, it grows sort of in damp areas like the bathroom, basements, but it also can be found in cotton, wool, canvas, walls, and ceiling. The mold is less common and poses a lesser health risk, therefore. But most commonly, again, we see here respiratory symptoms, coughing, even headaches. And then the most common, which has over 300 species, is called PENICILLIUM allergy. And that's a typical blue and greenish color. And the Latin word is actually called paintbrush. And so the spores of the PENICILLIUM form look closely or resemble more of a paintbrush. It's identified worldwide, and PENICILLIUM can grow anywhere. It can be from air to soil to leather, food, insulation, and it's definitely a prevalent household mold. I remember when I was in Bali once for a vacation a long time ago, and I had a leather belt, and it was very humid. Within a week, I couldn't even recognize my belt anymore, my leather belt. I had to throw it away. Everything was covered with this mold. Now, people who have a sensitivity or predisposition to that, particularly to these spores, really experience often nasal congestion, eye irritation, coughing, and even can have an irritation in their digestive system and stomach. It can even go that far. I mentioned before STACHYBOTRYS, right? That's sort of the core, or what we relate to mold allergy and toxicity spores, and that's the black mold. Again, it can be dark green, but often has this slimy textures and it's black. So because it thrives on material with a high cellulose and low nitrogen content, it's commonly found in fiberboard, gypsum board, paper dust, and lint, and definitely walls, ceiling, floorboards, as long as there's a consistent moisture present. Like my family lives in London. I used to live for 20 years in London. And the houses are thick brick walls, but there's also moisture in the bricks, right? So it's not uncommon that you find, in the hidden corners or behind the cupboards, you find mold. It's very difficult to remove, but I give you some tips too in terms of house cleaners, how to tackle that. Again, if somebody is affected by it, we see severe headaches, asthma symptoms, even dizziness, could go even into joint pain. And the physical symptoms, often the most common ones, are fatigue, mental impairment, right? So, and depleting diseases can be instigated by mold toxicity. So what are the symptoms in general? As I said, allergy-related symptoms, headache, chronic fatigue, fever, eye irritation, sneezing, rashes, lots of irritation on the mucous membrane, so the nose and the throat, chronic coughing for sure, and then I would also add depression. Right? People have mental fatigue here. You usually have lab tests. One is called enzyme-linked immunoabsorbent assay. It's called the ELISA or ELISA test, as well as urine samples. So what can you do as a prevention? Well, the first thing is you have to, look in your house and definitely block all the water leakages, any flooding points in your house to prevent the mold growth. Definitely look at the bathroom. If you don't have an exhaust fan, I advise you to do that, right? Because circulating air is better here. The humidity in your house, they say ideally, should be not higher than 50%. If you live in Florida in a humid environment, maybe get a dehumidifier in your home to ventilate. And also in the bathroom or in the kitchen, just take away all the carpets, right? And it's like, this just holds or traps the moisture. Then discard any items, right? Throw them away if they really are covered in mold already. Just get rid of them, right? Because there's no way cleaning them. Because as I said, you can't see the spores and they only need a little moisture and then they start to grow again. So what are the natural mold cleaners before we go into the protocols? Well, bleach is usually the normal cleaner, but people with asthma, for example, would be really affected by bleach using bleach or just the smell. So why not use something nicer? I would say tea tree oil is here very, very good. Tea tree oil is one of the several natural mold killers that you can employ instead of the bleach. I would say 2 teaspoons of tea tree oil with 2 cups of water. Put them in a spray bottle, shake it well, spray the mixture everywhere that you see the black mold, and then just let it sit there, right, and reapply it needed. You can also wipe it off then as a cleaner with baking soda. Again, you want to have a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 cups of water, spray it on there, then scrub it off, and then put your tea tree oil on top of it, right? So really, really be harsh on it. If you don't want to use tea tree oil, maybe you want to use undiluted, white distilled vinegar. Also quite helpful here. Again, it's a bit smelly with the vinegar, but it will dissipate after a while. Same thing, 2 teaspoonful, 2 cups of water, and try to spray that on. If you don't have any of that, but you happen to have in your kitchen pharmacy grapefruit seed extract, absolutely great as well. If you can't handle the smell of the vinegar, combine about 20 drops of grapefruit seed extract with 2 cups of water in a spray bottle. Shake it, spray it directly on the mold, wait, and do not rinse at this point. But as I said, as a cleaning, take away, when I really scrub it off, I would use the baking soda a suggestion. And if you happen to have hydrogen peroxide at home, it definitely kills mold as well. pour about 3% concentration hydrogen peroxide into a spray bottle and spray the moldy areas until they're saturated. Let it sit at least for 10 minutes before scrubbing the area well and then reapply. So there are certain things you can do in order just to take away this mold, at least what you see, right? Now I invested also a little bit online about houseplants, and lo and behold, there are houseplants which actually are beneficial in removing mold spores from the home. And one is called peace lilies, mums, spider plants, bamboo palm, areca palm, trachina plants, snake plants, Boston fern, and definitely aloe plants. That's very helpful to know. So let's go into our natural supplements and remedies protocols. The first thing also, if you are a sufferer of mold, don't just, think this is an outside environmental thing. You will have a predisposition within your body and a fungal proliferation already. So you need to change your interior of your body as well, because your immune system gets affected. So I want you to have simple diet changes. And anything which, stirs up the fungus within your body needs to go. So I don't want you to use mushrooms, for example, sour cream, even vinegar in this case, buttermilk, beer, wine, anything fermented, high yeast breads, in this case even sauerkraut, right? I know we use sauerkraut to establish as a prebiotic our bowel flora, but in this case you got to back off a little bit here. Soya sauce, anything fermented, pickled and smoked meats, even processed, of course, canned and bottled foods, but the worst is high amount of sugars. Please stay away with that, from high amounts of fruits, even pineapple, mangoes, bananas, melon, oranges and grapes. Now the foods you want to add to that is more, of course, any organic animal products as well as fresh veggies, lots of ginger, garlic. I love garlic, it's really antifungal here. Cayenne, horseradish. You want to have yeast-free breads such as flatbreads or tortillas, more low carbs, veggies of course, and even with the nuts, be sure it's sort of a low mold nuts like almonds, right? Or soak them before the night before. We want to bring in extra virgin olive oil, coconut milk. Coconut oil is very good for fungal proliferations, organic butter, avocados, and definitely filter your water, right? And herbal teas, mineral water, fresh veggie juice, but filter the water out. So let's go on the herbs and the supplements. As I said, garlic is really fantastic here. It's simple, it's affordable, and it works. So garlic helps to kill off fungi, molds, and yeast. And I would say 2 to 4 grams of fresh garlic per day. You want to have 600 milligrams to 900 milligrams of garlic tablets daily, right? Is recommended usually for toxic mold exposure. Now the favorite and definitely effective herb is podarco. Podarco comes from the Amazon, and all my supplements in my practice which work with antifungal affinities contain podarco. It's fantastic. You also can internally bring in oregano oil, tea tree oil internally. I have sort of a question about it. Definitely ginger. I would every morning bring in apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with a lukewarm water, change the pH level within your body. Grapefruit seed extract sometimes internally can be quite strong. I like apple cider vinegar more. Definitely turmeric, curcumin, fantastic here. And you have to bring up your immune system. And therefore I would say Echinacea angustifolia is a wonderful herb. herbal extract here on a daily basis. Now, when you have fungal proliferation within your body, your liver is already really stressed. We have two detoxification pathways within the liver and they can't handle it. So take care of your liver, right, with milk thistle, red clover, yarrow, stinging nettles, all these wonderful herbs. There is a product on the internet called ThyroLiver. It's from Dr. Jockers, or you also can contact me at health@medicanova.net. At my practice, I have wonderful supplements from Systemic Formulas, which work fantastic here. But that's a combination from selenium, milk thistle extract, alpha-lipoic acid, and so on, which assist the liver detoxification and as well the production of glutathione, because you need to have a great antioxidant to boost your immune system. 1 to 2 capsules twice a day. If you don't have this product, definitely get in some glutathione. As I said, it's very important for your liver and digestive tract. 1 to 2 caps a day, maybe twice a day if you're really suffering strong. Vitamin C, zinc, vitamin A, E, all these fantastic antioxidants. You also want to bring in activated charcoal. Now, most people think, as I said, the mold is just living outside their bodies, but that's not the case, right? It's literally inside, and it's almost like the same frequency is hitting the same frequency within your body, and therefore you react so strong. Now, activated charcoal traps toxins in the body and allows them to be flushed out. So the body doesn't have to reabsorb them, right? And that's the really beauty of activated charcoal. If you want to do something for your bowels, the American Botanical Pharmacy, it has an intestinal formula number 2. It contains activated charcoal, also with bentonite clay, and some mucilation herbs like slippery elm and marshmallow. It's really fantastic. But you can get activated charcoal just as a sole product in your local health food store as well. You want to bring in some chlorophyll maybe, which is also antibacterial, antifungal, chlorella, spirulina, any phytoplankton, which I love anyway. You know, it's the best sources of chlorophyll. And they come in different variety of supplement forms. So you got a good program already, which you can take internally, as well as, you know, household cleaning protocols, which help you just to get rid of it, or at least what you see. But I, as a practitioner, would add on some homeopathic remedies on top of it, because they really go to the core. And as I said with all my videos before, I want to keep it simple. We as homeopath, we deal with 4,000 remedies out there, and I want to just share with you the ones you get hold of in your local health food store. So simple, easy, nothing too complicated. But the point here is homeopathy works only if you now start listening to your body and really recognize your individual symptoms of your mold toxicity. Then I share with you some remedies which also has specific symptoms, and when they match, it's like a matchmaker game here, when they match, then you will see results, right? It's like the whole law of homeopathy is based on likes cures likes. So if you find something which is unlike you, then it will work. Nature works the best in that way. As I said, rather than just address the symptom, you know, you can explore here with homeopathic solution. And it's a better long-term option because they tackle the mold allergies from within, alleviating the stress on your immune system and really working with the specific symptoms of like hay fever symptoms. So the first remedy in line here is called ARSENICUM album 30. It's when you go to a health food store, you find the remedy and it has a number behind it. Usually 6 or 30. That's what you get over the counter. I want you to get 30. It means it's the potency, it's the strength of the remedy. So ARSENICUM album, I would do twice daily, for acute nose problems. And here you have a streaming, watery nose, and it even makes the skin under your nose very red because it's sort of acrid. And there's a lot of sneezing involved, itching, and I would say start for 10 days only and then back off and see, and also bring in the supplements. And then repeat again if it's necessary, if it's required. If you happen to have water coming out of your eyes, like as if you cut an onion. Remember, you stand in the kitchen and you cut your onion and it's like, whoa, I'm just crying here. That's ALLIUM CEPA, ALLIUM CEPA 30. It's a fantastic remedy for that as well. Again, if you have burning, itchy eyes and the water is just coming out of your eyes, not the nose. If it comes out of the nose, go for ARSENICUM album. Now, if this mold toxicity is really giving you cold sores, right? Cold sores on your lips, in the inside of your nose, you have a loss of taste and smell, headaches, discharge from the eyes, watery discharge, maybe think about NATRUM MURIATICUM 30. If you happen to have a runny nose, which is sort of, really streaming during the day, but it stops up in the night, in the evening, and you hardly can breathe, it's all congested, and there's a lot of sneezing attacks involved in it, particular to outdoor pollen reactions, then think about VOMICA 30. Now, in your health food store, you often see from the manufacturer Boiron, B-O-I-R-O-N, it's a French pharmacy manufacturer. They sell a product called Sabadil, S-A-B-A-D-I-L. And it's a combination of remedies which temporarily relieve upper respiratory symptoms, so that's a good one to take too, and just take it according to the product description. But whatever you do, either you choose ARSENICUM album 30, ALLIUM CEPA 30, any of these remedies, I want you to get, now listen, it's called biochemic, homeopathic, cell salt in the US, tissue salt, usually in the UK or in Europe. And I want you to get, it's called NATRUM sulfuricum or NAT-SULF, comes in the potency 6x. This particular Schüssler salts, biochemic, homeopathic, cell or tissue salts, they only have 12 different kinds. They're very helpful here, and NATRUM SULF especially is for symptoms which are worse in damp environment. So I want you to take 4 tablets morning and evening at least for a month, whatever you do on top. Right? That really helps the immune system, especially people who deal with asthma which is worse in damp environment. There are other remedies, camphor and all these things, but I want to keep it simple, right? I want you to really feel like you've got a handle on this. And I feel as a practitioner, if you have too many choices, you get confused. You need a targeted program, right? In this situation, mold toxicity is already so complex in itself. You deal with spores you can't even see. You deal with stuff you don't even want to touch, right? And then you get into this anxious mode. Oh my God, now I have to leave my house on top of it. So it causes a lot of anxiety and emotions. So you want to have targeted protocols which work, and then, try it out for a month or two. If that's still a problem after you have removed the water leakage, after you've done your natural protocols, then you can still sit down and say, okay, what's the next step here? But often patients who suffer from mold toxicity, they feel overwhelmed They can't deal with the situation anymore because they're already fatigued. Now they, have mental impairments even, and they can't even make decisions anymore. So this is really an intense situation. And I want to encourage you that you can deal with that. There are ways to find a solution. So, and if you are in doubt, please don't hold back. Contact me at health@medicanova.net. I'm happy to help here. And don't forget to look at my website, medicanova.net, for fantastic comprehensive home study online courses. So till next time, much love, take care.